Now, I always knew that I spent quite a lot of money on the horses, but I've never actually added it all up. So for an entire month, I've tracked every single horse-related payment that I have made. My husband's very kindly added it up for me. It's in this envelope. We're going to reveal the total cost at the end. I have no idea what this is. But I would like to say that I did win some prize money this month, so it's not all outgoings, although I don't think it's made much of a difference. So let's start with the biggest cost. Now, I keep my horses on DIY livery, which basically means that I do it all myself. I usually go up twice a day and do everything, feeding, mucking out, everything. It does feel a lot cheaper than doing it on full or part livery, where you've got people doing most of the work for you, but we're actually going to see if it does work out cheaper. So here is the breakdown of the costs. So Cameo, my older horse, is retired. He's living out in the field, and that costs me £100 a month in grass keep. Bear is a stabled horse. He's my 9-year-old horse. That's £150 a month. Custard is also in the stable. He's my 3-year-old Welsh pony, and that's £150 a month. So the bedding, I spent £30 on straw this month. It is more in winter, and I'd probably only spend £30 every other month in the summer because they live out at night. But this was the month where I spent the £30. The hay, again, same as the straw. They live out, so they don't eat loads and loads of hay, but that's £50 a month as well. So feed was £126.23 this month. That includes stuff like balancer, linseed, and I've got the pony on a low sugar haylage because he has actually put on a little bit of weight. If you want to have a look at the video of his weight loss journey, that's up here. So the thing with DIY, there are some days when I'm working away and I can't be there to do the horses. I have to pay a freelancer to come and work and do those bits for me. This month it cost me £100. So the next cost was quite surprising, and that's travelling to and from the yard. Now, because I'm there twice a day rather than once a day or every other day, I spend quite a lot more putting the fuel in the car than, say, somebody on part livery. So that's 10 miles twice a day. We're going to use the HMRC travel costing at 45p a mile because that takes into account fuel and wear and tear, tyres and insurance. That works out at £228 a month in driving to and from the yard, so I probably need to get a bike. So while the stabling costs and everything else added in does add up, it does still feel much cheaper than keeping a horse on full livery or part livery, which in this area starts at around £600 per month per horse, depending on the facilities available. Now, I've had horses on part and full livery before, and I just prefer doing it myself, but it does take a lot more time. And the total livery costs for 3 horses works out at £934.23. Farriery costs. Okay, so Bear is the only horse that has shoes on. He has shoes on every 5 weeks, and the other horses usually get trimmed at the same time. So it's £100 for the shoes, £30 each for the trims. That's £160 in total. So now we're on to veterinary care. Now this month we had the worming counts done. That worked out at £53.69. That's a quarterly worm count, which just happened to fall this month. That breaks down at £15 each for a worm count for the 2 stabled horses and £23.69 for the wormer. Then we had a blood test for the pony. That was a follow-up for a test he had before, and that worked out at £121.43, which brings total vet costs to £175.12. Insurance. So Bear is actually the only horse that I insure, and he works out at £41 a month. Cameo is retired and pretty much written off insurance-wise, so I decided it wasn't viable to keep him insured, and the pony is not currently insured, which does remind me that I need to get that sorted. So those are the basic costs even before you get on your horse. So Bear is my main horse, and I compete him British show jumping. So training this month, that was 2 lessons at £50 each and 1 training show round at £10, which is £110. Competition entries, £74.50. Travel costs, £83.25. Winnings, I would like to make a point that I won some money this month. It was only £50, but we won a 105 competition. And because I won, I bought a photograph, and that was £12. The total cost for getting Bear out this month was £229.75. Custard is our 3-year-old Welsh pony. We've been taking him to some little in-hand shows just to get him out and about. Show entries this month cost £45. Travel to that was £18. Winnings, 0. Swimming, because he is on a little bit of a weight loss journey, he had 4 swims at £39 each, which totals £156. And then I weighed him at the start and the end of the month at £5 a weigh, which totals £10. So total costs for Custard were this month £229. So Custard Pony was 3 at the start of the spring, and at the end of the summer I plan to just have him very lightly backed, because hopefully next year he's going to be ridden a little bit by my 4-year-old daughter if he's quiet enough. So we got the saddle fitter out and got a saddle fitted to him. That was £440, and then I bought a nice bit for him as well, and that was £51. And if we're going to include the full cost of being a horsey mum, Imogen's riding lessons worked out this month at £82. So additional Custard costs, which are kind of related to Imogen riding him in the future, works out at £573. So a saddle for Pony wasn't the only tack expense this month. I did go to the tack shop and went a little bit mad. You know what it's like when you just go in to buy a couple of little bits and you end up with half the shop. Well, that happened. So I did buy a nice body protector, and there is a review coming up on that. So please make sure you're subscribed to the channel to follow that. That was £160. Treats was £6. Gloves for Imogen in the sale worked out at £5. Gloves for me, £28. I bought some hoof oil, which was £12. Some new reins that I really, really needed. They were £55. And some fly spray, which was 20 quid. So my mad moment in the tack shop cost me £286. So it didn't end there. We decided to go for a lovely day out at Bolesworth, which was absolutely lovely. Highly recommend. But, you know, trade stands. So these are the costs for Bolesworth. Tickets were £12.50. Fuel, we worked that out at £112.50. It's 250-mile round trip. Food costs, 30 quid. Lead rope, £12. Saddle pad for Pony, which is amazing, was £40. Some potions, £14. A really nice fleece top, £50. Some socks, bargain, £6. A really nice Lemieux belt, that was £12. And this cap, actually, £20. So the total for a lovely day out at Bolesworth was £309. So that is every single horse-related cost this month. Now, obviously these costs do fluctuate throughout the year, but I've accounted for every single penny that I have spent in a month period, which brings our grand total to, I'm really nervous about opening this now. Oh my goodness. Let's see what this is. Oh my God, £2,937. Are you sure that's right? Wow, I need a cheaper hobby. Anyway, so yeah, that is shocking. And if you'd like to see some more, please subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I need to lie down now.